What's up, YouTube? Houston here. And for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, salute. And for my favorite patrons, always double salute. Now, today's video, we're actually going to talk about how to start an LLC, start a business with bad credit and no credit check. Because many people think that, well, I got bad credit, so I can't start a business. Well, here's the reality of it. Actually, you can start a business, and actually, in the reality of it, you should start a business. And I'm going to tell you why. So that way, as you work on rebuilding your bad personal credit, you can start building up your business credit so that you can get access to more funding. Okay, so if you have bad credit, I'm gonna tell you now, if nothing else, you need to start a business. I don't care if you're doing DoorDash, Instacart, any type of freelancing, whatever side hustle, it should be under a business. Okay, now I'm a person that I'm not a big fan of a limited liability type of corporation. However, for those of you that have very little knowledge about the different business entities, I would tell you to start anywhere, just long as you structure the business. All right, and if you have a problem with understanding how to structure your LLC, click the link below. I have a corporate sponsor that can definitely help you set up that business. Okay, now moving forward, this here video, we're talking about the LLC outline. We're talking about what state is the best state to set your LLC up in. We're talking about the best lendable NAICS code. We're going to be talking about the best banks you should open up your LLC with, which net 30s are the best for your LLC, the easiest first LLC business credit card, what business lenders you should consider to get an LLC business loan. Okay, so that being said, let's move forward. Now, first, do not create an LLC in these states. All right, Nevada, Wyoming, Delaware, and South Dakota. Okay, now I know some of you guys scratching your head like, what do you mean by that? Well, here's the reality. If you are not living in that state, okay, and you are not doing at least 6 months of business in that state, you do not have any legal protection. And also, if you are registered as a business in Nevada and you're in, say, California, and say that you get fined, then whatever fines and stuff, both states can fine you. Okay, so if you're doing business in California and you're registered in Nevada, basically, or Wyoming, Delaware, South Dakota, either one of them, okay, and you're not actually living in those states, you don't have any real legal protection. As a matter of fact, each of these states, they will more likely lose our president over the state that you're actually living in. So you'll end up paying out more fees. So I would definitely tell you, if you're planning on setting up your LLC or even buying a chef corporation, okay? A lot of people buy chef corporations because they're set up in a state because they're like, oh, no state taxes. But the reality is, most people that sell these chef corporations, they don't tell you that if you're not doing business in this state, then you don't have any legal protection. So they'll sell it to you all day long, but they won't tell you that you actually don't have any real legal protection. Okay, so also say that you're in, like I said, California, or say that you're staying in Arizona or somewhere, or even New York, right? So say you're staying in New York and you have your business set up in one of these here states, all right? So if New York starts giving out grants to small businesses and you're not actually doing business, you're not actually registered in the state, guess what? They don't have to, you may not qualify for those grants, okay? So that's the thing about it. So you would have to be registered in one of these states: Nevada, Wyoming, Delaware, South Dakota. And I notice for some of you guys, you may not want to hear because you already invested your money in one of these states, right? But you still have to register as a foreign entity. Plus, you still have to pay whatever fees. So you have to pay register agent fees on both ends of the spectrum. So that's the reason I always tell people, if you don't actually stay in one of these states, don't set your business up in it. And also with some lenders, some lenders may not approve you for funding because you're a foreign entity, okay, in their state, but you actually not even doing business in the state that you're actually registered in. So it can make it challenging for you to even get funding. All right. So I needed you guys to know that. That's number one. All right. Now, and again, if you need proper help in setting up your LLC in the state that you live in, click the link below. Okay. Now, this is very important. Choosing a lendable NAICS code. Okay, NAICS stands for North American Industry Classification System. Okay, whenever you open up your business bank account, okay, they're going to ask you, what's your NAICS code? Now, some of your high risk NAICS codes is when you're talking about finance, uh, credit repair, or trucking transportation. That can be one. For some of you guys that are in trucking transportation, you may want to consider setting it up as a courier type of company, not a trucking transportation. So your NAICS code should go under courier. Now, if you are a restaurant, which is a high risk NAICS code, one of the things you may not want to do is say that I'm a restaurant, I'm starting up a restaurant. No, you're not. You want to use a more favorable code like food distribution, okay? So for those guys that are hanging in there, I hope that I'm doing a good job with your comment. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up, because this is stuff that you need to know, because many people are never explain this in its entirety, but you need to know it in order to have success in your business. And these are the things that can make it challenging for you to actually get assistance or funding for your business. Okay. Now, banks that build business credit score. This is so important. Once you have your LLC set up, all right, you need to make sure that at least one of your business bank accounts, you can have multiple business bank accounts, but you need to make sure at least one of your business bank accounts is with one of these entities, okay? And we're going to break them down. You have American Express. American Express reports to Small Business Financial Exchange. They do not report to Dun and Bradstreet, okay? Small Business Financial Exchange shares that information with Dun and Bradstreet, but American Express does not report to Dun and Bradstreet. Okay. Chase is Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun and Bradstreet, Equifax. Then you have Capital One. Capital One is Dun and Bradstreet, Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange. Then you have Citibank. Citibank is Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun and Bradstreet, Equifax. Then you have Bank of America, Wells Fargo. They report to Small Business Financial Exchange. And I would tell you, if you are banking with Bank of America and you're trying to go after a business credit card, the first thing they're going to ask you is, do you have a DUNS file? Okay, so if you a brand new LLC, of course you don't. All right, so most of the time, depending on your credit score, they may start you out with a smaller limit. I'm not a big fan of Bank of America in terms of like with their business products and stuff like that. But hey, if you're already with them, you're making deposits and stuff, because people have been with Bank of America for years and they couldn't understand why they wouldn't give them a business credit card. Okay, but I'm gonna explain why it's so important to know which bank is reporting to who. All right, now U.S. Bank They report to Dun and Bradstreet and Small Business Financial Exchange. Now you have PNC Bank, which also took over BBVA. So they're one now. Now you have SunTrust. SunTrust merged with, I forget the bank, but now it's Truist. But they both report to Small Business Financial Exchange. All right. Now you continue to hear me say Small Business Financial Exchange. I'm gonna let you know right now. Small Business Financial Exchange is the mother, okay? Especially if you're trying to get access to funding through SBA loans, grants, and stuff like that. Small Business Financial Exchange, that's the type of file you want. They're more important than Dun and Bradstreet. They're more important than a Paydex score. They're more important than a DUNS number. All right. So what happens is, like, if you get say you're going after a SBA loan, right? So they would check your Experian file. They would check Small Business Financial Exchange. Okay. And then they may check to see if you have a DUNS number. It depends on the type of loan. But if you don't have a DUNS number, that's not going to make more of a difference than you having a Small Business Financial Exchange file established. So if you're trying to get SBA loans and stuff like that, then Small Business Financial Exchange is more important than Dun and Bradstreet, okay, or Paydex score. Not saying that you don't need Dun and Bradstreet, because if you're a restaurant, janitorial type of business, of course, you need supplies and stuff. Some lenders may look at it for financing, but I would truly say about 95% of financial institutions, they're not looking at a DUNS file. They're looking at the relationship you have with them. And in terms of loans and stuff, like with SBA loans, it's the Small Business Financial Exchange. Okay? Now, let's go move forward. Now, in reference to net 30s, a lot of a lot of people that's starting up their new LLCs, and their mind, oh God, I got to get all these net 30s. So they'll go get the most frequent ones, which is Granger, Seaton, Uline. Okay, if you look at this chart, you notice I do not have either of those on here, and there's a specific reason. Okay, not saying that they're not relevant, but the things that I'm looking to do in terms of making sure that I would try to get funding as quick as possible, then they're not on here. And I'll tell you something else about net 30s, where it used to be, and a lot of guys are still teaching this, that you can do the one and done. Not anymore. Not anymore. Most of net 30 company, net 15, net 20 type of companies and stuff, in order to get them to report, they want you to purchase from them at least 2 to 3 times. Okay. And so when you buy a net 30 and you wondering, like, wow, how come it hasn't showed up on my Dun and Bradstreet file or whatever, it's because it's their overhead costs to them, is what they say. It's too much of an overhead cost to them to report it to Dun and Bradstreet for just one time payment, right? And I'll tell you another things that most people are not aware of. Some of these companies now, they charge a membership fee or an annual fee, and that fee can go anywhere from $59, $69 up to $99. All right. So let's look at some of these net 30s that I think would probably be more beneficial if you have a new LLC, opening up that business bank account. And here's another secret that I want you all to know that most people are not aware of. When you open up your business bank account, okay, make sure that, if say that you're doing DoorDash, Instacart, or something like that, and you're trying to build up your business credit, get funding and stuff, make sure if you're able to cash out on a daily, cash it out into that regular business bank account. Or you can do the hack where I tell people, set up a business bank account with set up a business account with PayPal, and then transfer the money over from your when the company cash you out, have them to transfer the money over to your PayPal account and then transfer the money over to your business bank account. Now, why would I tell you that? Here's the reason. Because now the documentation that you have from PayPal, you can add that to being able to not only get business funding from PayPal without using personal credit, but you can also use those numbers to go to other third-party companies to help you get business credit funding as well. Okay, now there's another thing. Like I said, you're moving the money from PayPal account over to your business bank account. Now you're building a relationship with the banks, and because you have constant deposits, it helps with the internal scoring. And that's another thing that you all need to understand. Like when you may have a low credit score, all right, depending on how long you've been with a financial institution, they may consider your internal score. And I talked about internal scores with about Navy Federal internal scores. If you want to see that video, put a comment below, because I think if you actually understand what an internal score is and how important it is, it may be more beneficial to you, okay, when you have a challenging credit. All right. Now, back to looking at these net 30s. Here's the thing. You have companies like Shirtsy. They report to Equifax, CreditSafe, Small Business Financial Exchange, and Sonia, and National Association of Credit Management. However, for this company, you have to be in business at least 90 days. All right. Now, I would not dismiss them, but one thing I want you all to understand, you do not need on a tier system like 10, 15 net 30s. It's not necessary, especially if you follow in the system that I'm telling you. Once you set up your LLC, open up your business bank account with one of those financial institutions, make the weekly deposit, and add about maybe 3 to 4 of these here net 30s on your business credit file, okay? And you'll be fine, okay? You'll be fine. You don't necessarily have to do the tier 2, 3, and 4, okay? This is a straightforward way. You're going through the front door with financial institutions because you'll have a strong business credit file. All right. Now, Summa Office Supplies, Experian, Equifax, but they do give you a letter of reference. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a video. I did make a video, but I'm going to make a better video explaining about the net 30s and how to actually leverage them even more, right? But you have Summa Office Supplies, which is Experian, Equifax, but they give you a letter of reference for the other credit bureaus. Then you have Quill. Quill is Experian, Dun and Bradstreet. Now, the reason that I have Quill up here instead of Granger, Seaton, and Uline, because Quill does have a mechanism in it. So if you need to bootstrap your business by you qualifying for an account with Quill, like I said, with the financial mechanism in it, you'll be able to bootstrap for us, like having access to a little capital to maybe pay for the marketing of your business, or if you need a short-term supply or something like that. All right. Then you have this company Wise Business Plan. Now, again, some of you guys would think, oh, I don't need a business plan. Correct. You may not need a business plan unless you're going after like a SBA loan. So if you're going to go after like a SBA loan, they want it's to your benefit. I would say to your benefit, not necessary. If you, especially if you're going after like a 25,000, if you're under 25,000, you don't need collateral and stuff with an SBA loan, which I'm gonna talk more about that as well. But in terms of when do you need a business plan, right? So if you're just trying to build up your business credit and you need reporting, then Wise Business Plan, they have products. Their products is Equifax, excuse me, they report to Equifax, Experian, Dun and Bradstreet. So they have other products you can buy and they'll still report. Now, NAV, I would tell anybody, if there's nothing else you need, you need to monitor your business credit, right? And I think NAV has one of the most proficient business credit reporting programs on the market. I'm not saying they're the best, but they do have one of the better. I should say that they have one of the better programs. All right. Now with NAV, you have to either get the business boost or the business loan builder, and they report to Equifax, Experian, and Dun and Bradstreet. Okay. Now, for your first business credit card, so if you have bad credit, okay, and you're hitting at least a 580 credit score, I would probably suggest that you try to get a Capital One Spark Classic Business credit card. And here's the reason why. Remember, I told you they report to Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange, and Dun and Bradstreet. Now, here's the thing: they may give you a low limit. They may only give you $500. And this is where people make the mistake. Because it's a low limit credit card, they won't use it. That's where they're making a mistake, because you want data reporting to those business credit bureaus. The reason is, the more data you have showing that you're using a business credit card, paying it off, using a business credit, even if it's a low limit, the thing about it is helping you build up your business credit file. So even if you get a $500 business credit card through Capital One, make sure that you're paying like gas, some type of maintenance fee. You may have to get some breaks done or whatever, but making sure that you're using the card as often as possible for business expenses. All right. Now, again, this is so important because a lot of people, they're like, no. Now, sometimes with Capital One, they're going to pull, they usually pull, it's a FICO 8. Sometimes they may pull your Vantage TransUnion. Okay, but one of the things you definitely should do, if nothing else, try to get a Capital One. They do put 3 inquiries on the credit file, unfortunately. However, if you can lock one of your files, they have pulled just 2, and you may still qualify. Now, here's another thing. If you're trying to apply for other credit cards, all right, and you have sketchy credit and stuff like that, one of the things, if you get denied, what you want to do, as soon as you get denied, you want to call the reconsideration line and ask them, well, if you won't give me a credit, would you start me off with a smaller limit? Okay. So even if they start you out with a smaller limit, and you can actually utilize it and pay it off, utilize and pay it off, to show that you actually want to be in a relationship with them. This is something that will help you. And again, internal scoring, having accounts. Open up a personal account, if you can, a savings account and a business account. So having multiple accounts with them definitely gives you leverage, even when you have sketchy credit, to be able to help you build up your business credit file. All right. Now, you have Wells Fargo secured business card. Now, their secured business cards start at 500 up to 25,000, but it's your own money. You have to make the deposit. But here's the thing about it. Wells Fargo pulls from FICO 9. All right. And so with the new FICO score, they have made it much easier for you to build up your FICO 9. So looking at lenders that actually pull from FICO 9. Now, American Express, Bank of America, um, Chase, Citibank, Discover, they pull your FICO 8 for new cards and stuff like that. But the thing about it is, you don't want to start with them with a business credit card if you have a low credit score. You want to start with these here credit cards, okay, to build that trust, to build that relationship. All right. And just make sure with those banks that I mentioned, even though they pull from FICO 8, make sure that you're making that weekly deposit. Okay. Make those weekly deposits, because a lot of people miss that. All right. Now, I did make a video talking about Navy Federal Business Credit Card. The thing about it, Navy Federal Business Credit Card, it won't report to your business credit file. So that's the reason they're not in this here rotation, right? But if you want to actually see how to get a business credit card from Navy Federal, just put a comment below and I'll send that video over to you as well. Now, here's another credit card that you should add if you starting your new LLC. Again, like I told you, these are some of the most important things that you need to have when starting your new LLC to help you build up business credit so you can get access to business funding. DIVVY Business Credit Card. Okay, it's for startup, new business, or existing businesses. Now, they report to Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun and Bradstreet. They do a soft pull, Experian 9, minimum credit scores of 550. All right, now they have two components. They have two components. One, if you have decent enough credit and say a business that's generating revenue, they may just give you a line of credit right away, right? However, if you do not meet their criteria to get an instant line of credit, then they have the credit builder program where you use your own money. And now I would tell people, get it. Get it, even if you have to use your own money, because what's happening? They're reporting. So again, being able to have cards that are reporting on your business credit file and you're utilizing those cards and stuff, this is what lenders like to see. All right, this is the activity that lenders like to see. So I would definitely tell you, do not sleep on it. Get it. By the way, DIVVY is like a charge card. So whatever you use, you have to pay it off within the next 30 days and stuff like that. All right. But nonetheless, I would definitely tell you, getting the Capital One card, getting the Wells Fargo security card, getting the DIVVY credit card is definitely starting your LLC off right, because a lot of people don't know how to build up that business credit. Well, this is going to help. These trifecta will help you build up your business credit, okay? Now, for those of you that may have an existing LLC, okay, and you're generating revenue, then you have a chance to reach out to a company called Capital on Tap. Now, I made a video on them as well, so if you want to see that video, put a comment below and I'll send that video over to you. But with Capital on Tap, as long as you have at least $30,000 in annual revenue, so that's like $2,500 a month, right? They are web bank, software, Experian, FICO 9. They don't work with sole proprietors. Like I said, LLC, S corps, regular corporations. Okay, so their proof is needing business bank statements. So if you have, again, if you have an LLC that's generating revenue, then this is a card that you may want to also take into consideration to help you get funding. All right. Now, Brass Financial, no doc business loans. Okay, so if you have a brand new LLC and you have at least a 720 FICO score, then they can help you get funding also. All right, so they lend nationwide. You can have brand new business. Okay, no income, but you have a 720 credit score. All right, this is the type of lending institution you may want to go after to help you get some business credit funding. But if you have a 720, in my strongest opinion, then I would actually, once I open up my business bank account, then I would start applying for business credit cards under my LLC. All right. Now, I would definitely do that. So instead of going after a business loan, I would try to get maybe about 3 or 4 business credit cards once you know exactly how much capital you're trying to raise. So be careful on the inquiries, okay? Now you have Seek Business Capital. Again, here's another one. If you have a good credit score, at least a 680 or high, they offer business loans. Their business loans goes from 10,000 up to 150,000. By the way, guys, if I'm doing a good job, put a comment below. Let me know that now you starting to understand how to put the pieces together to be able to actually properly get access to business credit funding. Okay, So let me know, am I doing a good job? You know, give me a thumbs up. All right. Now, you have a Seek Business Capital. If anybody has did a business with a Seek Business Capital, put a comment below. But they state their statement is they offer loans from 10,000 up to 150. You can be a brand new business, no revenue, but you have to have a good credit score, and they work in all 50 states. All right. Now, ACCION business loans. All right. If you have bad credit, all right, but you have an existing business that's generating revenue, then and you have at least less than $3,000 in outstanding debt, then ACCION business loans is probably what you want to consider. Now, if you are brand new, opening up your LLC. Okay, they do accept LLC. If you have a brand new LLC, but you have strong credit, you would need a business plan. So going back to Wise business plan, now I know there's a lot of companies out there that offer business plan, but Wise, they actually report to Dun and Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. So being able to get that trade reported on your business credit file helps you, right? But having a business plan with a 12-month cash flow projection. All right. By the way, this is also something that's important. Like when you open up your business bank account, they're going to ask you about your NAICS code. They're going to ask you what is your projected numbers, right? So that's the reason that you want to have this information and know this information. Okay. So now, in order to get a loan through ACCION, as a matter of fact, I made a video where American Express gave them over $40 million so for people with bad credit to get a loan from them. But again, you have to have a business plan. You have to have cash flow projections, all right? So in terms of trying to get a loan from them, you have to have a recommendation through SCORE or Small Business Development, okay? Now you have the Community Development Financial Institute. So if you need like a micro loan, you can also reach out to the Small Business Development Financial Institute as well. If you have challenging credit and you're trying to get a micro loan, micro loans usually like between 500 up to $10,000. All right. So for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, again, welcome. I appreciate those of you that hung around. I know it's a lot of information. I know it's a long video.